damn boring now. The
Like
all
every day,
mysterious
every
algorithm.
month. It's always changing, so it's like...
I kind of got it.
Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Ugly Wood Company Podcast. We're your hosts for today, Glennard.
And Nicole. So Glennard, what are we going to talk about today on our very first episode of Season 2?
Well, today we're going to talk about social
Social
media.
Yay.
So welcome back to Season 2. So we've taken a very long break from our first season, our episode 10, Season 1. If you haven't checked that out, you can hear about why we've decided to take a break. But anyway, we're back. And a bit of admin announcements first. You can see for the first thing, right, is we are both wearing the same t-shirt.
Whoa!
Okay, so this is our new shirt. You can find it on our website.
Whoa.
So if anyone is interested, anyone wants to find a shirt that make a mess in.
Can you see? Can you see or not?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, so if anyone needs a shirt to make a mess in, you can find it available on our website. And we are also running a special discount. So if you are, if you put in the coupon code somewhere here, if you put the discount code, we haven't keyed the discount code.
You tell me what's the discount code.
Okay, the discount code is podcast shirt. Shirt. So we will do a 10% discount for our first 15 shirts.
Okay.
Yeah. So find it on our website. I think we'll put it at $20. We won't be earning any money. We're just putting it so that people can buy like our merch. But anyway, first piece of news out of the way. Second piece of news, starting from today, we will be doing bi-weekly uploads.
Yeah.
Okay, so Season 2 will be bi-weekly. We have decided that we are also going to do a contract of 10 episodes.
So every season is like 10 episodes.
Yeah, so we'll commit to ourselves 10 episodes. If you want to give up, we'll always give up at like a nice
round up number.
Nice multiple of 10. So Season 2 we'll be doing bi-weekly. I think when we talked about it, we realized that weekly podcast is a bit too hectic for us. Especially because just happened so that during that week break, we actually had some personal matters that we needed to attend to. So on one hand, we couldn't attend to as much as we wanted on the Ugly Wood Company and on the social media side, but at least that gave us the kind of breathing room to sort our matters out, and then now we can get back to this. And getting back to it bi-weekly, we felt was the most sustainable way, health-wise, mental health-wise. Any thoughts? Any comments?
During that 1 month break that we took, we decided that bi-weekly was a better interval to release episodes, because when we were doing weekly, it was quite hectic, especially for me, because not only we had to record, like we need to find days to record, but I will kind of be on a time crunch to edit the videos.
You would only have 6 days to edit if we only recorded it on the week before.
Yeah, like if we were recording it on Sunday, then I will technically have 1 whole week. But then the thing is, towards the end, I was only using Friday, Saturday, Sunday to record. So I only had like 3 days. So I think us deciding on bi-weekly gives me a bit more breathing room.
Yeah. Because
then I will have time to, like, I will have more leeway to record the video, and also at the same time, if there is spare time, I can maybe do the social media, or I can start recording I can start editing the next video.
Yeah, basically that extra 1 week per episode, right? It gives us enough time to build a backlog, whether that is in terms of social media clips, or it's in terms of recording new videos for podcasts, or even our own videos for our website and our company. All those things, they do need time, and it's just not possible on a weekly release schedule, and not with the two of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, starting today, Season 2 will be going for bi-weekly release schedule. We hope you'll stay with us for the next 10 episodes. But other than that, we can get on to the actual topic.
Before we start, look at the set difference. There's new toys.
Okay, let's get started.
No!
Season 2.
Look at this!
Social media.
It's Mr.
No,
Pa!
no, copyright, blur,
it's
blur.
copyright. Oh, but you see, it's the fa. We want to what in our business.
Yeah, so let's talk about social media. For us, social media is quite challenging. I would say
as for the business.
from the business point of view. From the business point of view, social media is quite challenging for a few reasons, right? So, first things first is if you saw some of our season 1 episodes, you would know that Nicole is actually in charge of the overall social media direction for the first.
That was in 2024, right?
2023, 2024, or even
Yeah.
2022 also. No.
Actually, I think from the start. Almost from the start.
No, I wouldn't say from the start because from the start I was the one handling, right? And then you had a lot of complaints. Because you have a lot of complaints.
I saw your pictures.
Because you had so bad feedback for the pictures and the text that I was writing, the copy text that I was writing, that you said, why not
I help you to do.
You do it instead.
It's like my way of contributing
and also
to the company.
trashing on my work as a social media manager.
It's so bad.
So that was how I think we originally started. I think when we started, even more so than today, right, we didn't have a clue of what we were supposed to do. We struggled with taking the right kind of photos for I think almost 1 year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you go through a bit. I'm not sure if you can remember what were the different things that we tried in order just to take good photos. Back then we haven't even talked about era of video yet, but just trying to take good photos. Do you recall what were the different things we did? The first thing, obviously, I took some photos on my own, which you
like
complained
just the
about.
pure product photos. Is it?
Just simple product photos.
Okay.
Or some simple behind the scenes photos.
Do
you remember after that what did we do?
I remember the one we did where like we kind of pose with the products. So initially like because we were only doing like small products, right? Like this.
We did have some big products where we tried posing with the photos also.
Big products?
Yeah, the tree. The pegboard tree.
Oh, but that one is more of
it was the one-off lah.
But that one I think is not really like posing. It's not really like a photo shoot kind of posing. But it's like that one is more of like while you were like putting up the pegs, then I was taking pictures.
No. We had some where we literally sat in front of the product, right, and then like drank coffee. You don't remember the photos because I think you didn't sort the last round. But like I was cleaning the photos up there, I remembered. There was a set of photos where we I can't remember. I think it was the tree. We were sitting.
I thought that was for the coaster.
We also did it for the coaster. We did it at the same time. It was the same time at the same place.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
like
the cringe photos from like 2021 or 2020.
I forgot the tree one.
Yeah, we tried taking photos.
I remember the coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then after that we kind of moved on to I think we decided to do like a setup kind of photo shoot.
Yes.
So like we put tables and then we actually bought the
backdrop.
Backdrop. We bought like paper backdrop, the
textured backdrop.
Textured backdrop, the board also. Like not cardboard board. I don't know what's the material. We bought something at Art Friend. We bought
paper material.
It's not paper material also. It's like the hard kind of board. I don't know. But I don't know how to say.
No, but what as in that paper, what did we do? We use it as a backing lah.
We use it as a background. We use it as a background. Do you remember the standing table sign one?
We printed
the
it.
Serving board.
I thought we printed it.
Serving board also.
Yeah. I thought we printed it. We didn't buy it from our friend. We printed a marble wallpaper.
The marble one.
White marble, black marble, and like a plain. Like we tried a few plain colors. Like
I thought the color one we bought at our friend. Cannot be the.
Okay lah, maybe
the solid color ones.
Maybe the solid colors one we bought. Yeah, but either way, they serve the same function, which is to be a backdrop for our small items at that time. So it was your coasters.
It was mostly the serving boards.
Yeah, we actually tried doing a proper photo shoot. Because it was a serving board, we actually bought like serving board food,
we bought all the food, everything.
In order to do it. And I remember my mom at the time, she was like looking at us and like, are you all going to finish all those food there? Because we have to open it up, right?
Oh,
we have to
yeah,
open it out,
yeah.
to take photos. You cannot keep it in the packaging.
So it's all the cheese.
So my mom was looking at all the cheese and all the ham and all the fruits. I was like, she was asking us, are we gonna finish everything?
We finished the ham and fruits, I think. The cheese we don't know how to eat.
Yeah, we didn't know how to eat the cheese.
Oh, then we bought McDonald's also.
Yeah, we post that photo shoot with McDonald's also.
Then we ate that as lunch.
So that was a fixed table setup. I think I still have a photo of the behind the scenes.
Oh.
Yeah. So I remember right after that setup, then we started asking around for our photographer friends, like how do we take better photos.
Yeah.
So like one of them reached out, right, and they gave me a lot of hints, and I think the conclusion from that conversation, right, was that I just didn't know how to take good photos because she would say things like, you're
The
supposed
angle,
to you're supposed to
right.
take photos from this perspective, or you're supposed to respect the
It's like you take from the
rule of thirds.
bottom. The rule of thirds is quite common, but the one that
Yeah.
I think was new to me was like, I think when you're taking like a big product photo, then she said were to like you point it from the bottom up. So like not MySpace, the opposite of MySpace angle.
So
MySpace angle from
the only thing I remember from that conversation, right, was like that I still use, right, is basically the principle is any photo you take at eye level, right, that is a very common angle for people to take. So that makes the photo very boring. But if you take from an unusual angle, like top down, bottom up, lateral view, or any kind of photo that is like not the standard like kind of standing eye level kind of view, that will make a photo look good. I think that's the only takeaway that I still can use today.
I don't remember that one.
But I remember she what she did, right, was she tried to take a few photos of like random props.
Then I compare it.
And then compare, and then she'll say, see, this photo is better than this photo.
And then you couldn't get it.
And then I couldn't get it, I was like staring at you, I was staring at my other friend, and then we were like looking at each other. It's like, what makes this photo better than this photo? I cannot see that this is
I
the
can
better
kind
photo.
of get it. I kind of got it. It's
Did you?
I think so. At that moment, I kind of got it. Now you ask me to recall, I don't remember. But but I remember that one is like maybe sometimes a bit zoom in, a bit zoom out kind of thing. Like sometimes far, sometimes like not too near, a bit further out, something like that.
Yeah, but anyway, like that was.
We didn't really apply any of those.
Yeah, we didn't apply anything except the eye level thing.
Or like the different angle. No, I still remember the like the
low angle.
The low angle, because that makes the product look bigger. That was the thing that I remember, and I think I still applied it to this day maybe.
Yeah. So up until this point, right, 2022-ish, we were still trying to do photography only. And then TikTok started being very big.
Oh, at the start?
Instagram Reels also started being very big because they were competing with each other.
At the start, I remember I think I was quite reluctant to do TikTok at first.
Yes.
Was it? I was quite reluctant.
You are still a bit reluctant.
We had a friend who initially, I think when TikTok was starting to blow up, we had a friend who said, hey, I think you guys should do TikTok marketing. Then I remember, I think back then I was like quite reluctant.
You're very stubborn.
I didn't want to get hooked on it. I think. So then we didn't do it until I think it was nearing its peak.
I quite sure we started doing it right when Instagram Reels came out.
Almost.
Oh, roughly that time.
Around the same time.
The plus minus a few months. Like roughly that time, because when you started seeing a lot of Reels being promoted on Instagram, I think we were very annoyed with it at first. But then we eventually gave up and said like, okay, this is something that this is something we cannot run away from.
Yeah.
So that's when we started looking into videos as like a skill set we need to learn. And I think even from a videography perspective, right, I think we still have not gotten to a point that I am comfortable with. Because I think we both have pretty good taste, I would say, in what makes a good video, but we don't know how to shoot it at all. We are back to kind of like square one when we were first starting with photography.
And then we bothered to go and learn, I think.
That's true lah. but it's also like exponentially more time consuming.
Yeah.
Because you take a nice video, right? You still don't know whether it will be a good video or not. You just see it as like a raw clip. There's a lot more editing, there's more like splicing involved that you can't tell whether you did a good job until the end.
Yeah, then sometimes it's like, okay, so like when I take videos, right, sometimes I may think that, okay, this clip might come in handy in the final footage. But then I think sometimes when I'm editing the final footage, right, then I realize, shucks, I should have taken this video
Another
instead.
kind of shot.
Or like the video that I had taken actually cannot use.
Yeah.
Like take another shot. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's a bit difficult. Then end up you actually need to take a lot of videos, a lot of small videos to really see what works.
Then I remember when we tried also, right, because TikTok was a vertical format.
Yeah.
We also tried doing like, oh, what if we took a video that's like very zoomed out and then we just zoom in for the vertical side? And then there was also that conflict of like, then everything looks like not framed properly.
Yeah.
So there was also...
Or sometimes like it'll be cut off frame.
Or sometimes like, cause we try to frame it horizontally nicely, right? Landscape in a nice way. Then when you try to do it vertically, suddenly it looks like very weird. So we are still, we had a lot of problems. We are still running into a lot of problems. I think on the video side.
I would say now it's a bit better.
Now it's a bit better.
Now every video I'm recording it in vertical mode already.
Yeah.
I don't do horizontal mode anymore.
So now it is a bit better, but I would say that with like a very big pinch of salt. I think social media wise, right, I think we are getting to a point that we are good with filming, but we haven't really like cracked the code as to like, oh, what makes something be more popular than something else.
Yeah, we still haven't really cracked the algorithm.
And it's always changing, like every day,
mysterious
every month. It's always changing, so it's like it's very hard to catch.
Wasn't that very enlightening, Glennard?
That was so enlightened. By the way, what are you wearing?
Oh my god, it's the new Agriwood Company t-shirt. Oh my god. Wow. It's a shirt that you can make a mess in. And you know what else?
This shirt is available right now at www.uglywoodcompany.com in all sizes. If you put in the coupon code
podcast shirt, PODCASTSHIRT,
you can get 10% off.
That's right. That sounds amazing, Glennard.
You should go and get a shirt now.
I think you should go and get a shirt now. Okay, back to the video.
But I think regardless, right, I think maybe we can talk a bit about kind of like how we think about social media. Like, what is the purpose of social media in relation to a small company like Agriwood Company?
Oh.
Right. So I think early on we had that discussion very early on. What is the goal of social media? Do you recall from your time as the chief marketing officer, how did we define the goal of social media?
I think ultimately was to get the views, right? And then in the end, it should convert to sales.
Yeah. So we were always very cognizant, right, of whatever social media we were doing, whether it's very professionally shot or it's a joke, like trendy meme or whatever. It was always for the point of views converting into sales. So we were always very aware of the end goal of sales.
Yeah. Even if the video does very well, but there's no sales, it's still considered a failure, right?
By itself, it's not considered a failure, but it's not something that you should celebrate.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not something as like, oh, this is, the model example we should copy every time. Because even if it gets us a lot of views, right, it doesn't really...
Because ultimately, we're not trying to go viral. So we're like our main role is not to be internet celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah, so going viral, I mean, it helps, but it's like we had a video that went viral.
Yes.
Which was like quite insane. Like we were totally not expecting it.
Okay, so
it was the best video I ever.
You describe the video first, and then we talk about kind of like what is the engagement results of that video.
Okay, so I can put up the video here, but basically the video is about just showing so we were promoting our burger coasters.
Over there.
Dun dun dun, I can finally use this. But the video will be here. Okay, we were promoting the burger coasters. So like I was showing the before and after of the prototype. So because Glennard did some like prototypes.
Design prototypes.
Design prototypes. Then from there we tweaked it to become like this.
Yeah. So we were showing kind of like the before and after of our design process.
So basically what I was doing is like it's just my hands. And then it's just like, okay, so it come in from the frame. Then like, okay, so this is this is the before, this is the after.
I think either you said or there was text.
Oh no, it was the AI voice.
It was AI voice.
It was text and
like what changed lah.
Text to speech AI voice.
It was the text to speech about what changed.
I didn't use my own voice. Yeah, then
Yeah.
after that, I think actually at the start it didn't do well. At the start, I remember it
It
was
was okay.
the pickup was slow.
The pickup was slow.
Then after that, somehow it suddenly became like, every time I open up TikTok, right, it's like, you know, that notification is always 99 plus.
Yeah.
So 99 plus is like, okay, there's a lot of things happening now. So then suddenly
Like
a lot
per notification.
yeah, then suddenly there were a lot of engagement, like a lot of
Yeah.
comments. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very weird because like what Nicole was saying, right? So it kind of slowly climbed up and then it basically tapered off. So it tapered off first. And then we thought that's the end of it. We started filming other stuff already. So like that video is now like the third or the fourth video. And then suddenly, right, I believe because somebody commented, it suddenly shot up again for no reason. And then we were getting kind of like new people coming in
New people
and watching it.
commenting,
So I think
yeah.
like the first time it peaked was like maybe 1,000 or something. Like maybe
I think that was our first video hitting.
yeah.
1,000
So it's
plus
like
also.
1,000 views or something.
Or like,
And
yeah,
then,
maybe 1,000
and then
plus,
it tapered
yeah.
off, and then like a week later or something, it suddenly went up again, and because of a comment. And do you know what that comment was? The comment was something like, "I like the first one better."
Oh, something like that.
And seeing that, and then because that comment shot everything up again, right? Like going into I think 10K or more.
10K plus.
10K plus.
Yeah.
So it was like it's very weird for us because this is our first experience of like we knew it in our head, right? That like all engagement is good engagement, whether it's like good comment or bad comment. But I think it was our first time really experiencing like this comment that I don't know how to feel about. And then that being the springboard to kind of engagement success lah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, a lot of the comments were saying that,
Yeah,
like,
I remember
the first one was
you
better.
messaged because we were working at separate places at the time, right? You messaged me, it's like, hey, should we go back to the first prototype? The comments say the first one better. Leh. I remember you said something
Oh,
like
did
that.
I? Did I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that?
Because you were panicking, you were like, oh, what if he was correct?
Oh.
And in my mind, I'm like, I don't think I care what a stranger talks about on the internet. Leh. But I think that shows the nature of our relationship with social media, right? It's very hard to take it seriously or take it personally because the internet is filled with very random people, especially TikTok. TikTok comments tend to be very unhinged. It tends to be very unfiltered.
Yeah.
So it's quite scary to know or to consider what they might be thinking about. I think that was the learning point I had from that one and subsequent videos. But I think with that being said, maybe we can talk a bit about our own personal relationship with social media. Right. So
you want to start first?
I can start first. My first social media was Facebook, or even older than that was Friendster.
You use MySpace?
Very little. I think I just signed up and then I didn't do anything. Which was very common. I think just like when
Really?
when a new website comes up.
Really?
So I if I talk a bit about Facebook.
Do you use Friendster?
Yeah.
What was Friendster about?
Getting friends. That's
literally,
all. Yeah.
I didn't sign up because I remember that time I was in primary school, right? And then like Friendster started becoming big, I think.
Yeah.
But I remember I think the minimum age was it? I think it was 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember it was quite a high minimum age.
Oh.
Then because I was so honest back then, I didn't want to fake my age. So I never signed up for Friendster. But I have friends who have Friendster. Okay, never mind.
But it wasn't relevant.
I never knew what Friendster was.
It wasn't relevant to your circle of friends, so I think it didn't matter.
I never knew what Friendster did. I don't know what to do on Friendster.
Yeah. I think Friendster was just a way of collecting like people like Pokemon like that.
Oh.
Like it was a bit irrelevant. As of today, it's irrelevant for sure.
Yeah.
But I think I remember going onto Facebook and, or rather not say the start lah, but my first social media was Facebook, right? And then eventually Instagram came.
Oh.
And I didn't sign up for Instagram for the longest time. I started in Facebook, I think, in secondary school. And then I started in Instagram at university.
Oh.
So there was a good minimum, right?
You never do anything in between.
Minimum 4 years to 8 years gap between Facebook and Instagram.
It was only Facebook and Instagram. You never did anything
Maybe there were
else.
other things, but it was like not
Twitter?
memorable. I didn't do Twitter. But
Tumblr?
I think the point I want to talk a bit more about, right, is like, because after the first few years of Facebook and after the games era of Facebook where you were just playing like things like
yeah.
Farmville.
Oh my god, yeah. Wow, I
I
love the games
remember
era.
I started to get anxiety
Oh.
when I started to see past friends, right, like your previous secondary school classmates. When I started to see previous friends, because I think for the longest time I felt very inferior to them. So when I see updates from them, I felt very uncomfortable. And that was also a reason why I didn't want to get Instagram, because I didn't know what Instagram was for, but I knew it was for photos. And I specifically didn't want to see photos of my of people I used to know. I felt that would give me a lot more kind of like mental health trauma than it was worth. So I didn't get Instagram until somebody, whether I saw it online or somebody told me, right, actually you can just go Instagram, right? Don't add a single one of your friends. Just follow like art. Or
just
like,
follow whoever you want.
Or like
people you don't know.
Yeah, artists or people that you don't know, or like just any kind of inspirational references, things like that. So like doing architecture, there was now a valid reason to do it, because all the design inspirations you can follow from Instagram. So I think, yeah. And then after university, I'll just sum it up very quickly, right? So after university, I had to go work, and one of the jobs that was tasked to me, because I was the youngest person there, was social media marketing.
Little did they know.
Your
mind was of a 50-year-old.
Yeah, I was an old person trapped in a young person's body. So I was tasked to do social media, and that job, right, was a recruitment company. So the specific social media I was using was LinkedIn. So LinkedIn was its own kind of very weird bubble.
LinkedIn influencers.
Yeah, there were a lot of LinkedIn influencers saying very weird things.
Funny.
But I think the same feeling of anxiety slowly started to creep back from Facebook. Because on LinkedIn, right, they are not connected yet to Facebook at the time. So I can selectively choose who I want to follow.
You were using your own LinkedIn account?
Yes, you have to use your own LinkedIn account, because all of us had to maintain our own LinkedIn account. So we would get, like, there was a photographer in our company who took very nice headshots of us. And then that would be like almost a standardized profile photo for all of us at the company. So being from a recruitment company and using LinkedIn so often, they naturally expect that your LinkedIn profile is up to scratch. And we would also actually go and look at other of our consultants, our headhunters, whether their profile picture, not profile pictures, sorry, their profiles were good, and like we will give them feedback.
Do you need to maintain your company's LinkedIn page?
Yes. So
because I thought that was what you were doing.
Yeah, I was. So my job.
But I didn't think that you were actually maintaining your own profile also.
Yeah, I was doing both. So my job at that time was to maintain the LinkedIn profiles of the company. Like we'll put updates of anything that happened.
Yeah, normal.
So things like that. So I took a very kind of like very systematic approach. I just did it as like if there was a program launch or there was an event launch, then we will
you just share.
Yeah, so I tried to spend as little time looking at people that I knew, and as much time looking at kind of like quote unquote inspiration for LinkedIn, right? In terms of like what kind of posts I should do for the company. I tried to divorce the personal from the company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can see that in all three, right? Like where the stress of social media comes from, it mostly comes from that inferiority complex when you're comparing to people you know. Yeah. So that was a lot about me, right, and my specific kind of hang up. Maybe now we can talk about you. Like, how was your experience on a personal level?
I think mine is quite similar to yours also, which is like it's also the like especially after I start using Instagram, a lot of the inferiority, because I will keep comparing myself to other people. But then before I go into the negative thing, I suddenly remember that like actually before Instagram, I think I had quite a fun time using social media.
On which platform?
So there was Facebook. Facebook was nothing. Okay, Facebook was just games. So the Facebook games, very fun, very nostalgic.
It's a gaming site for young people.
Society, Restaurant City were my two most favorite games. Then after that, I think I can't remember which came first, but I had Twitter and Tumblr. Tumblr was very fun for
But
me.
is Tumblr really a social media?
I made friends
site?
on Tumblr.
But they weren't real people.
No, they were actually real people.
No, I mean like you knew them as personas. You didn't know them as like John from.
No, I knew them as real people. Like I remember I befriended someone from Malaysia
Oh.
that had a real name. I can't remember whether I actually video called that person, but they had a real
Wow.
name from Malaysia. There was another person also from Malaysia. There was one from a lot of them from Malaysia actually. Then I remember there's one girl named like Mimi from I can't remember where. I don't know, is it Australia
I
or
feel like
something?
it's a setup.
But it's
for
actually real people.
what if
leh,
you're
I
being
think.
catfished?
No lah, but the thing is you're all overseas ma. I can't really meet them in real life. But anyway, we were like, because that was during my time of fangirling. So like that was a very fun time for me. Because it's basically you just like you find your type of people and you just kind of like everyone is just kids like fangirling on the same thing, like idol. It's always idols, it's like the K-pop idol. And then like so Tumblr was very fun for me. Then after that, then Twitter I can't remember whether I do much. I remember live tweeting about like the Korean music shows. Because normally they happen live,
Yeah,
then I will watch it live. So then for example like there's
It's
music.
the live reactions.
Yeah. So I think I only had access to Music Bank at that time. So KBS Music Bank. So I remember I was like doing live reactions on the tweets. It's like, oh my god, okay, this group come out. And like, oh my god, this person looks so handsome. Then like this kind of thing. Okay, but then after that, when it came to Instagram, at the start it was okay because like I was in secondary school, so there's not much things that you compare yourself with. I think
Okay.
or like rather the comparison didn't come that early lah.
Mm.
It was after I remember it became very bad in uni. Because I think uni, you know, when your brain start to develop already, then like you start to have the different insecurities. But I remember the time in uni I had I have so people who don't know, I have 2 accounts on Instagram. So so the first one is my main account. Then that is following a lot of people that I know in real life. So it's just basically like it amount to like acquaintances, like people you meet in camps, your schoolmates, this kind of thing. You just follow them like after camp you just follow them just to keep in touch. So then the comparison start because I start seeing like their lives look more interesting, more fun, like they travel more, this kind of thing. Then I remember that time I think we were together already at that time.
Yeah.
Then I can't remember whether I seek help from you or something like that. Do you remember?
As in, what is it about?
That like I feel very bad about myself looking at Instagram.
If I recall that incident in particular, right, and that was the
thing I
thing
think you told me just stop using.
Yeah, I remember the thing that turned me off the most about it was I think you were very
What was I doing?
conscious of your dressing and your figure, like appearance. Basically, you're very conscious of your appearance.
I thought it was more of
because
a life experience.
No, the life experience was one element, but I think the one that the life experience I can relate to. So I would have given you advice from my perspective, but I think the one that I really didn't get right was that you were jealous is not the right word, but like envious of people's appearance, like their dressing or their figure or something. And then you were thinking like, oh, you know, should I start wearing this kind of clothes, or should I start looking like this, or should I start?
Oh, I don't remember that part.
So to me, that was very superficial, and like that was the thing where I was telling you, on top of the fact that like me, you had anxiety seeing your past friends, right? That was when you needed a very big social media detox.
Oh yeah, social media break.
Because I think that you were online so much, but every time you were online, you were looking at things that actively made you feel bad. So it was a very meaningless activity.
Yeah, so then after that, I stopped using my main account. Then I transitioned a lot to my private account. So the
secret account.
Yeah, the private account, which is like only following very close friends. And then it was mostly on following celebrities, close friends, looking at memes, looking at
It was a meme
animals.
account lah, I think.
It was
more
an
than
animal
anything
account.
else. Yeah,
Also.
it's an
It was
animal
like a
and
dog
meme
account.
account.
It was a like make me feel happy kind of account. Yeah, so actually now even my main account, right, I will use it when I go traveling because that was my way of kind of like updating my family members on what I'm doing overseas.
It was the way of getting back at those people who travel when I couldn't travel.
No lah, that I don't care already. But the thing is, when I use my main account, right, I actually don't scroll. So I post a story. So
okay.
I only post story. I don't even post photos that much already. Every single time when I think about I want to post photos, I feel so lazy that it's like I don't want to post.
I think I feel like you do one photo per event. So whether it's one trip or like one life milestone, and then like that's like just a milestone, like a landmark to pin at
the
the time.
post.
Yeah, post wise.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like I don't know whether you notice, but every time when I take story on when I film a story on my the main account, right, then like I film already and then I just exit the app already.
I've never noticed that.
Oh, I don't scroll.
I think that's a very healthy way to do it.
No, there were a few times where I will like just scroll a bit. Then I see like
I'm in bad mood, and then like it's my fault.
no, as in I feel like everyone doing this. Honestly, everyone doing the same thing. No? Like my feed has gotten so boring, right? Because everything I'm seeing is either engagement photos, proposal photos, BTO photos, baby photos. So it's like
wedding photos.
Yeah, or like wedding photos. So it's like it's damn boring now actually. So it's like I scroll like one or two, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here, man. Do something else. Post something else. Not that I will see.
Yeah. So I think maybe one of the contributors to our struggles in Ugly Old Company, right, is that we have both troubled relationships with social media. So other than like the mental health issues, right, the trauma issues, right, we also have skill issues because we don't know how to film properly. So I think like when you combine the two together, right, it's like why are we doing this? What are we trying to do?
Skill issue.
Yeah. But okay, I think before we close this off, right, I want to ask you a very important question.
Oh.
Right, and that was I think the one of the questions we wanted to answer when we first started using TikTok.
Oh.
Okay. Do you think we should chase trends on TikTok? Do you think we should do dance challenges?
Every time I ask you whether you want to do it or not. It's not even a dance challenge sometimes. Sometimes it's just like no, you remember there was this challenge of like suspect blah blah blah. The suspect challenge.
Suspect is a XYZ kind of person.
Yeah. I asked you whether you want to do that or not. You don't want to do that also. But that one is like
But do you think it's worth the hype? Do you think it's worth that? Like,
I think some is quite funny. Some quite funny. Not dance. But some quite funny. No, the one that we are kind of trying to do is using trending songs or trending sounds.
That's one of the
That's the only thing that I think we did, but it's actually quite difficult because sometimes like the sound not related to what you're filming, so it's like I don't know whether I should use this sound.
So sometimes we get stuck in a loop, right, where we like we know the song is very popular, but we stuck for like 3 days trying to think, okay, how do we make it relevant to our content? How do we make it relevant?
Then the point is like over.
Yeah, correct. To the point, right, where we finally find something,
trend over
and then the trend is already like on the downturn. Then we don't know what to do, and then we just next time lah.
Yeah. No, but then the thing is, I think you were the one who actually pointed out that why not we just use, or like you realize that using trending sounds help also. So we don't necessarily need to do actual video trends, but like you just use the sound. You were the one who actually picked it up. Because you somehow use TikTok more than me.
Yeah, I think I ended up
I don't know how
using TikTok more than you. I think
I don't know how that
TikTok fits the ADHD side of people because you always think you're going to put down your phone, right? And then you see the next video and it's like, hey, actually not bad. And then you start watching again, and then start watching again, and then suddenly 1 hour is gone. But
I tried getting on there. So then after that, I made my own TikTok account. So then I wanted to curate my FYP. But then the thing is, I scroll, then it's like, it's not helping. Then I just go back. I just use Instagram Explore page. My Explore page is more curated than my TikTok FYP.
I don't know how their separate algorithms work. But I think at the end of the day, it's just kind of preference already. I don't think there's a real objectively correct answer.
Yeah. Hey, then do you think you should chase hypes?
chase hypes.
Chase trends.
I mean, my answer is no lah. I don't like to do
Why?
challenges.
Why?
I think for one thing is I don't like.
Very cringe.
Yeah, I don't like cringing. I
But there are
am
some
against cringe.
No.
Say no to cringe.
But other than being cringe, is there another reason?
I think the other reason is probably the effort. I think I generally it's fine. It's hard to change my workflow, right, to something so spontaneous. I when I work, right, I've always found that I am the kind of person I need something very systematic. And I've always found like changing mode very difficult. So the way I always used to describe, right, was in my previous job, we would alternate between a few things very often. We would alternate between going for meetings and like presenting during meetings, into analysis of data, into sending emails. I would prefer, right, like half a day to send email and half a day to do meetings, or vice versa. I don't like when I send email for 30 minutes and then I change to analysis for 1 hour and then I change to going for meeting for 15 minutes. Because every time I change, right, there is like a lot of energy, mental energy that I need to expend to get into the right zone.
Ooh.
So that is why I don't really like to do things that are too spontaneous, like trends. If that is what I'm going to do, I need it to be my kind of entire job scope. So I know that like my whole day's responsibility is just being ready to react. So I that's also why, right, sometimes you see our calendar, right, like we will spend like 2-3 weeks just workshop, or like production, or like I don't go to the workshop for 1 week. Because for me, right, like going to the workshop 1 week and then computer the next day and then workshop 1 day and then computer another. To me, that is like more strenuous than workshop, computer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I've always found that I cannot do it. I think it's worth it, but I think I cannot do it.
Your mental capacity cannot.
Yeah, I'm very small brain.
Pigeon brain.
Okay. Can but do you have any last words you want to say about social media for everyone?
I think we should occasionally take detoxes. We should occasionally go on dopamine fast. As much as that is very difficult to do in this day and age. But I think it's good. I agree. I think
dopamine fast is good. I think we should stop watching TV for like immediate.
No, we need to continue watching TV.
Okay.
I need my YouTube.
Before we go, we would like to give our listeners some unsolicited advice. So if you recall from season 1, right, we will always try to give some unsolicited advice as armchair experts to our lovely listeners. And this week's advice will come from Nicole. Nicole, what advice do you have for us this week?
So my advice for this week is, I think everyone should watch Bluey. It's a very awesome show. Bluey!
Thank you for listening to the Ugly Wood Company podcast. If you're interested in booking our services, please go to our website at www.uglywoodcompany.com and use the coupon code UWCpodcast for 10% off. That's UWCPODCAST. Links in the description.